Hola everyone! Do you overuse these words? Happy, sad, cheap, easy, etc.? Don't worry. I'm Teacher Kim from AIA and I'm here to help. Today we're learning more words to expand your vocabulary and avoid word repetition. In this video, I'll show you 10 commonly used adjectives and 2 alternatives for each of them to help upgrade your vocabulary effectively. During the lesson, feel free to pause to practice and/or comment below any questions you might have. Let's begin!
Y si tú quieres educar tu oído 100% gratis, tengo un entrenamiento que me tomó meses crear, que puedes bajar hoy en día 100% gratis. Educa tu oído hoy. Enlace en el primer comentario.
Happy.
I'd be happy too.
Happy. We all know this is a word used to describe a positive and joyful feeling. For example, you could say, she was happy to see you.
I'd be happy too. I'd be happy too.
Another word you can use instead of happy is joyful.
Everyone there was just so joyful that night.
You sound really joyful.
Joyful. Joyful is used to describe a feeling of great happiness. So when someone is joyful, they are extremely happy and full of joy. For example, instead of saying she was happy to see you, you could say she was joyful to see you.
Everyone there was just so joyful that night. Everyone there was just so joyful that night.
You sound really joyful. You sound really joyful.
Another word to use instead of happy is delighted.
I'm delighted to have you here.
I could not be more delighted.
Delighted. Delighted means extremely happy and pleased. If someone surprised you with a party, you'd be delighted. So again, instead of saying she was happy to see you, you could say she was delighted to see you.
I'm delighted to have you here. I'm delighted to have you here.
I could not be more delighted. I could not be more delighted.
Sad.
It's really sad.
Sad. Another overused adjective we all know is sad. This refers to not feeling good and unhappy. To use it in a sentence, you could say, he felt sad after the unfortunate event.
It's really sad. It's really sad.
Here are 2 words you can say instead of sad. One, you could say gloomy.
Don't be gloomy, dear.
Let's stop being so gloomy.
Gloomy. Gloomy is used to describe a feeling or an atmosphere that is dark, dull, and not very cheerful. When things are gloomy, it means they seem sad and depressing. So for example, instead of saying he felt sad after the unfortunate event, you could say he felt gloomy after the unfortunate event.
Don't be gloomy, dear. Don't be gloomy, dear.
Let's stop being so gloomy. Let's stop being so gloomy.
The second word you could use instead of sad is downcast.
Don't look so downcast, my boy.
Mickey will be very downcast, Andy.
Downcast. Downcast is a word to describe when someone looks or feels sad. It means their face and mood show that they are not happy. When you hear bad news, you might look downcast. If it makes it easier to understand, you know when you're sad and your smile turns upside down, like this? Well, think of that to remember the word downcast. For example, you could say, he felt downcast after the unfortunate event.
Don't look so downcast, my boy. Don't look so downcast, my boy.
Mickey will be very downcast, Andy. Mickey will be very downcast, Andy.
Cheap.
I want to buy a car, a cheap car.
Cheap. When someone says something is cheap, they are saying that something is not expensive and costs little. For example, this shirt is very cheap.
I want to buy a car, a cheap car. I want to buy a car, a cheap car.
Though the word cheap is easy to understand, sometimes people can get offended when you call things cheap in front of them. So another word you could use to say something is not expensive is low cost.
He's looking around for some nice low-cost housing.
Low cost. This just means that something doesn't require a lot of money. To use the same example, instead of saying this shirt is very cheap, you could say this shirt is very low cost.
He's looking around for some nice low-cost housing. He's looking around for some nice low-cost housing.
Another word you could use instead of cheap is the word affordable.
Go to night school at community college. It's pretty affordable.
Starbucks offers premium quality coffee at affordable prices.
Affordable. This word is definitely considered the most polite way of saying that something doesn't cost much. Affordable is also used to refer to something that is priced at an amount most people can pay. Imagine a car that's not very expensive. You could say it's affordable for most people. Using the same example as before, you can now say, this shirt is very affordable.
Go to night school at community college. It's pretty affordable. Go to night school at community college. It's pretty affordable.
Starbucks offers premium quality coffee at affordable prices. Starbucks offers premium quality coffee at affordable prices.
Easy.
It looked easy.
Easy. This means something is not hard, so it does not need a lot of effort. For example, you could say, that class was easy.
It looked easy. It looked easy.
A more advanced way of saying easy is saying something is effortless.
You made it feel very effortless.
Everything he does is so effortless.
Effortless. Effortless is used to describe something that is done without trying very hard or with very little effort. If someone makes a task look really easy, we can say it looked effortless for them. To use the same example as before, instead of saying that class was easy, you could say that class was effortless.
You made it feel very effortless. You made it feel very effortless.
Everything he does is so effortless. Everything he does is so effortless.
Another word to use instead of easy is saying something was straightforward.
Pretty straightforward.
Our mission is straightforward.
Straightforward. Straightforward means something is simple and not complicated. When an answer is simple to understand, we say it's straightforward. So again, instead of saying that class was easy, you could say that class was very straightforward.
Pretty straightforward. Pretty straightforward.
Our mission is straightforward. Our mission is straightforward.
Old.
I miss that old design.
Old is a word used to describe something that has been around for a long time and is not new. For example, I think my grandma's old table still looks beautiful.
I miss that old design. I miss that old design.
Now, if you want to say something is very, very old, you could call it ancient.
This technology is ancient.
Ancient. The word ancient is usually used to describe something older than something that is just old and has lasted for a very long time. So to use the same example as before, you can say, I think my grandma's ancient table still looks beautiful.
This technology is ancient. This technology is ancient.
Another way to call something old is to say it has aged.
These are the aged raw milk cheeses.
Aged. This means something is showing signs of aging. So if you see your grandma's table looking a little worn, you can say, I think my grandma's aged table still looks beautiful.
These are the aged raw milk cheeses. These are the aged raw milk cheeses.
Remember to pause to practice, and if you have any questions, make sure to comment them below. Now it's time for a little quiz. Choose the correct synonym to fill in the sentence. You'll see sentences with special underlined words. Your job is to pick the best word that matches the meaning of the underlined word. Let's get started! 1. She was happy when she received the gift. Could you replace happy with A, delighted, B, downcast, or C, effortless? The correct answer is A, delighted. She was delighted when she received the gift. 2. The meal at the restaurant was very cheap. Is the best word A, heroic, B, affordable, or C, vital? The right answer is B, affordable. The meal at the restaurant was affordable. Let me know how you did on the quiz in the comments below. All right, let's continue. Good.
Did I say you were good?
Good is a simple English word that means something is nice, okay, or right. For example, the restaurant's food was good.
Did I say you were good? Did I say you were good?
A more advanced word to use instead of good is decent.
You need a decent place.
Seems like a decent fella.
Decent. Decent. Decent means something is good or okay. However, it's a little more formal than saying good. When people describe something as decent, they want to say that something is of acceptable standard. So instead of saying the restaurant's food was good, you could say the restaurant's food was decent. Now, it's important to note that when you say something is decent, you're not saying it's amazing and you're not saying it's the worst. You're saying it's just okay.
You need a decent place. You need a decent place.
Seems like a decent fella. Seems like a decent fella.
Another word to use instead of good is outstanding.
He was brilliant. He was outstanding in every way.
It's outstanding. The audience is going to love it.
Outstanding. However, outstanding means something is exceptionally good or excellent. It's used to describe things that are way above average. To use the previous example, the restaurant's food was outstanding.
He was brilliant. He was outstanding in every way. He was brilliant. He was outstanding in every way.
It's outstanding. The audience is going to love it. It's outstanding. The audience is going to love it.
Friendly.
This sure is a friendly town.
Friendly is a word used to describe someone who is nice and kind. When a person is friendly, they are warm and pleasant to be around. For example, Matthew is a friendly guy.
This sure is a friendly town. This sure is a friendly town.
Now, another word you can use instead of friendly is sociable.
You might be sociable.
Sociable. To say someone is sociable, you're saying they enjoy the company of others and are willing to talk with others. Sociable is the formal version of friendly. For example, instead of saying Matthew is a friendly guy, you could say Matthew is a sociable guy.
You might be sociable. You might be sociable.
Another word to use instead of friendly is outgoing.
He's outgoing.
Outgoing. Outgoing is a word used to describe someone who is very sociable and enjoys being around people. An outgoing person is friendly and likes to talk to others. Using the same example as before, you could say, Matthew is an outgoing guy.
He's outgoing. He's outgoing.
Funny.
Do you think this is funny?
The word funny is used to describe someone or something that causes laughter or amusement. For example, the movie was so funny.
Do you think this is funny? Do you think this is funny?
Now, if something is extremely funny, you would say it's hilarious.
Oh, this guy's hilarious.
It looked hilarious, Martin.
I know this word is a bit more difficult to say, so say it with me. Hilarious. Hilarious. When something is hilarious, it makes you laugh a lot. So if the movie made you laugh a lot or had you crying from laughter, instead of saying, the movie was so funny, you could say, the movie was so hilarious.
Oh, this guy's hilarious. Oh, this guy's hilarious.
It looked hilarious, Martin. It looked hilarious, Martin.
Another word to use instead of funny is amusing.
You find that amusing?
I'm sure I'll find it very amusing.
Amusing. Notice the Z sound in the middle of the word. Amusing. Hear it? Amusing. Now, amusing does mean funny, and it can also be used to describe something as hilarious. But it can also mean that something is just entertaining in general. So, for example, the movie was so amusing.
You find that amusing? You find that amusing?
I'm sure I'll find it very amusing. I'm sure I'll find it very amusing.
Brave.
Hassan, you have to be brave.
Brave is a word used to describe someone who is not afraid in the face of danger or difficulty. For example, his actions during the rescue were truly brave.
Hassan, you have to be brave. Hassan, you have to be brave.
Now, a more advanced word to use instead of brave is heroic.
I think we're heroic winners, Diana. Don't you?
It's heroic what you're doing.
Heroic. Heroic is a word used to describe really brave things that people do. It comes from the word hero. So, by describing something or someone as heroic, you're saying that what was done is what a hero would do. It's a very nice compliment. For example, instead of saying his actions during the rescue were truly brave, you could say his actions during the rescue were truly heroic.
I think we're heroic winners, Diana. Don't you? I think we're heroic winners, Diana. Don't you?
It's heroic what you're doing. It's heroic what you're doing.
Another word to use instead of brave is fearless.
It's very fearless of you to stand up right away.
A diving girl has to be brave, fearless, a showman.
Fearless. This word is used to describe someone or something completely lacking fear, even in the most daunting situations. Also, if it helps you remember, Fearless is the name of singer-songwriter Taylor Swift's second album. To use this in the same sentence as earlier, his actions during the rescue were truly fearless.
It's very fearless of you to stand up right away. It's very fearless of you to stand up right away.
A diving girl has to be brave, fearless, a showman. A diving girl has to be brave, fearless, a showman.
Important.
In here, he's an important man.
This is a very popular overused adjective. It's a word that means something is significant or has value. When something is important, it means it matters a lot. For example, good health is important for a happy life.
In here, he's an important man. In here, he's an important man.
A more advanced way of saying important is saying something is essential.
Friendship between animals and humans is essential.
The challenge was essential.
Essential. Essential is a word that means something is really, really important. When something is essential, it's something you really need. The word essential is basically a more impressive way of saying important. So instead of saying good health is important for a happy life, you could say good health is essential for a happy life.
Friendship between animals and humans is essential. Friendship between animals and humans is essential.
The challenge was essential. The challenge was essential.
Now, words can have power. So if you want to say something is important, but in a more powerful way, you can say it's vital.
Temperature is vital.
Speed is the vital factor.
Vital. Vital is used to describe something that is absolutely necessary or important. When something is vital, it's something you can't do without because it's so important. For example, good health is vital for a happy life. Also, if this makes it easier to understand, in the US, doctors call bodily organs vitals because they are needed for your body to function every day. When they say they have to check your vital signs, they are referring to the measurements of your body's most basic functions, like your pulse rate and your blood pressure. Another example could be, we need to get her vital resources now.
Temperature is vital. Temperature is vital.
Speed is the vital factor. Speed is the vital factor.
Well, that's it for today's lesson. We've covered more words to expand your vocabulary and avoid word repetition. Remember to practice these words because practice makes perfect. One could even say practicing is essential to learning a new language. Oh, and if you enjoyed this video, please like or share it. If you have any questions about this lesson or have any ideas on what you'd like us to teach next time, leave us a comment below. And of course, if you want to keep learning with us, hit the subscribe button and be sure to turn on notifications. Also, don't hesitate to check out our other free videos and courses that can take your English skills to the next level. Thanks for watching. I'm Teacher Kim, and we hope to see you in the next video. Adios!